Hey guys, Hector here with part 3 of my whole racial video series or whatever. Pretty much covers racial topics, but the topics or the subjects themselves aren't exactly the same, unless it really applies to races or whatever, in the US. So if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, you can click the little eye on the top right corner and it should take you to them. So in this video, I kind of want to talk about races in TV shows and movies in the United States. So not too long ago, it seemed like there was only one type of race in a TV show or a movie. Like an entire family would be white, and usually the friends and family and stuff would be white, and sometimes they might throw in a black friend in there or whatever. And then when black people started getting their own shows, the entire family would be black, the friends would be black, and sometimes they might throw a white person in there. Then like a Mexican person like George Lopez would get his own show, the entire family would be Mexican. And while I didn't really watch that show too much, I think all of his friends were Mexican too. I just remember the entire family was Mexican. But as time has gone on, they started doing more mixed families. Like, I forgot what the show was, but my family watches it. Like the husband is white, and then the wife is that Colombian chick. I think she's Colombian, and then so it has been a little bit more mixed. I don't think I've seen any black people in there. But the thing is, people come from all over, different countries, different races, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, all come to the US, and they would like to see their race represented on TV by a character or whatever. And there's just so many different races, it's just kind of hard to just plug them all in there to satisfy everyone and to have a good enough story. And I know some people would say, well, it doesn't matter what race they are, if everybody's American and they're all American, whatever. But it does actually matter a little bit, as I covered in the other videos. There still are cultural backgrounds, cultural differences that people hold on to. And if you're a writer of a certain race, you don't really know too much about the other races. You have to do extra research to kind of make them fit that role. Because then people will get really upset if you don't cover that person's character, that person's racial background right. Like let's say you put an Asian person in there and you do kind of stereotypical Asian stuff, people will get really pissed off. You put an Asian person in there and they're doing something of a totally different race, and people will start getting pissed off. So you have to be really careful as a writer. And also as a writer, people usually just write what's around them. So if it's a person of a certain race that grew up around nothing but white people, they usually write stories, and then all their characters just happen to be white. They didn't really realize it until later on, and they're like, oh, I should probably put a black person in there, maybe put a Mexican in there to kind of fit a quota, basically. So some people feel like they have to have characters from different races, backgrounds, even religious backgrounds, to really satisfy everyone. Because then we have black people saying, why aren't there more black people? We have Latin people, Hispanic people saying, why aren't there more Hispanics? We have Asians saying, why aren't there more Asians? And then you also have to be careful and say, well, not that type of Asian, because that's stereotypical or whatever. And then Middle Easterns, and it just gets really, really difficult since it's the United States and there are so many different people here. And we all want to see somebody from our background on TV or in the movies. And then there's a whole nother subject, which I actually recently covered on my Japanese otaku channel. It's races playing characters that weren't originally that race. Now, if the character never really had a race, there was never any pictures, nothing was ever set in stone as to what they were supposed to be, but their background was still kind of, well, not their background, but their character was still written out, then anybody can pretty much play that race. But once there is a character with a set race and a set look and everything like that, then everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people want that character to be that certain race when an actor or actress plays them. That happened with Fantastic Four recently. It's happened with many other movies and TV shows throughout the years. So they got a black guy to play a person who was originally white in the Fantastic Four. I believe his sister, the character's sister, is also in the Fantastic Four, and she's white. They hired a white actress, so they had a white and a black person, but they're supposed to be brother and sister. And then people were like, well, you can explain that, so where's the problem? And so people started saying it's racist if you can't, or if you're saying you can't have a different race to play a character of a different race. Like I said, the black actor was playing a character who was originally white. You're racist if you say he can't do that. But then on the flip side, there is recent news of the Ghost in the Shell movie. The Ghost in the Shell whole franchise comes from Japan. Some people say, well, the characters are Japanese automatically or whatever. And they hired a white person in that role, Scarlett Johansson. And people say that's totally fine. But then there was news or leaked information that was saying they used visual effects to make Scarlett Johansson and other white actors look more Asian. Of course, they scrapped that, but they tried it. And that is not okay. Because you're hiring a person of a different race, but then you're still trying to make them look like that other race. And there has been a whole history of that throughout. I don't even know for how long. For like a really long time, they had like white actors do full makeup to look black or to look Asian, and people say that's just BS. And I agree that that's BS. I'm the type of person who likes to stick to character accuracies, though. I think if the original character was white, the actor or actress should be white. And the age should also be specified, you know. If it's an old person, you should still hire an old person. You can't say, oh, well, this is a young version. It's my version of this character. And if it's black, it should be black. If it's Mexican, it should be Mexican. If it's some sort of Asian, Japanese, Chinese, Indonesian, whatever, they should be that characters or that sort of race as an actor or actress still. That's just my personal opinion. Other people will disagree. But I definitely agree, and I think most people agree, that you cannot make one actor or actress of a certain race look like another race. And it also pissed me off with other movies like The Grudge that originated in Japan. They kept the setting in Japan. They kept the ghost lady Japanese. They kept the police officers Japanese. But they changed all the other main characters and made them all white. And that was just BS to me. It's like, why'd you do that? If you move the entire setting to the US and then just added a bunch of different races, that's totally fine. But if you keep it in Japan and you keep those people Japanese, why did you make everybody else just white? It's just, I don't know, it just pisses me off sometimes. And pisses some other people off sometimes. And then sometimes people say, no, it's totally fine. Whatever, just shut up. So I think that's all I got to say about this particular topic on race. I might cover some other racial topics in the future. I don't know. You can always leave a comment if you want me to cover a certain topic about American related stuff. And you can give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or appreciated me doing it. And I think there was another racial topic that popped into my head, but I can't think of it right now, so I don't want to make promises saying that there's going to be another video in the future. We'll just have to see. Till then, I guess that's the end, but you can always subscribe if you want to see more American related videos. So, see you guys later.